critical match now with Michael Landers against Pierre-Luc Theriault. The winner here will advance along with Timothy Wong to go into the semifinal crossover.
Pierre-Luc Theriault having taken the first game 12-10 in the deuce game against Michael Landers.
And this is a must-win match for Michael.
Really for both these players. Interesting to see whether Theriault can improve on the first meeting between these two. They really got very frustrated after losing a number of leads in the second game and the third game of that particular match.
You know, Han, you had mentioned this earlier when I'd asked you what you thought Michael needed to do against some of these players, and it was not to go for so much of a big shot on the first or second, but to actually use his backcourt presence and the continuation of spin before going for the big shot, and that really seems to be giving Pierre-Luc. Well, now, look at there, he's doing both. He's playing big forehands, but also when he does keep that spin going, he's so good at keeping it deep and low that he really doesn't give you much to work with.
For Michael, it's a little bit of live by the sword, die by the sword. When he tries to go too hard, especially on those loose balls, he has a tendency to overhit on at least 2 or 3 a match. And he does not want to be returning serves with his backhand. It's not something he works on a great deal.
There he's pushing with his forehand, and then with the angle that Pierre-Luc is able to get, Michael's running around his forehand to play a backhand because of the extreme side spin. That's an issue if Michael can get heavy enough spin on that first loop. Often Pierre-Luc is kind of backtracking on his counter loop. He's not always driving forward, making it very tough to get on top of the ball. Whoa, what a backhand block down the line.
Although Pierre-Luc Theriault really doesn't get a lot of juice on his backhand, when he's attacking, he does have a very interesting stick block. It looks almost like a pen holder's block when he tries to stick that ball.
It looks like he's picked up a couple tips from playing with the other Pierre-Luc Ints on his team by getting that first heavy spin in constantly and moving it around. That gave Michael quite a bit of difficulty throughout the tournament so far.
Again, that stick block setting up the rest of the point.
But it's also got to be tough, Han, when Pierre-Luc plays that side spin forehand down the line when he steps around. That ball's really breaking away from you.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Michael Landers with a loose ball and really going for broke.
You don't need to go at 110% on those, maybe more about like 65, 70, and just be prepared in case it comes back.
Or just an easy ball into the body, which is what you see a lot of top players do in that situation. And this is an interesting early timeout from Michael Landers' camp.
I guess it just shows you the importance that they're placing on every single point here. He does not want to go down 2-0 and have to climb up a huge mountain, especially with such a different style of Pierre-Luc. Lefty with a lot of side spin. Serves are very strong.
I don't think Michael's coach Ernesto will have liked the way he took that last loose ball. Just trying to get him in the right mental state to play the rest of this match.
So tough as a coach when a player comes back after they've made kind of a foolish mistake, how delicate it is to make sure you give them all the encouragement while at the same time reminding them that they can't treat any ball with less importance than the next. Oh, net edge.
It's just a really unfortunate way to come out of the timeout. The game plan in mind. And
it'd be terrible for it to be a net, it'd be terrible for it to be an edge, and he gets both of them. Again, a completely lucky ball. However, give both of them credit. They were able to get past it and return it, but Michael just doing whatever he could to keep it in play and popping it up for an easy smash.
Returning the favor a little bit there. But it can be so unfortunate to use the timeout in that situation and maybe have a good game plan for the rest of the game with your opponent just doing either something unexpected or getting a little bit of luck.
I think Michael's thinking to himself, I've got one more net or edge coming my way to even out this. And Pierre-Luc takes the second game.
And there, Mike, I think Michael Lander's not used to actually playing that ball a little bit smarter. He actually played that ball a little bit smarter, but the placement was right into the backhand corner. And he obviously isn't prepared to play the second ball after that first attack when he feels like he gets a loose ball.
Again, I think we'll be able to look back or point to that high ball that he pounded in the net. And really, he did not need to go that hard. I know, mentioning to a lot of youngsters and juniors as they come up, coaches are constantly saying, don't hit the ball at 100% of your power because you lose all that fine motor skills. You want to keep it at around 60 to 70% so you can react or respond to the following ball afterwards if it comes back.
And it's such a contrast to the way we saw Timothy Wang play against Michael Landers, where every loose ball, Timothy was just placing the ball so well, just perfect placement into the elbow, following your movements, following you, balls always going into your body. Pierre-Luc Theriault now just finding the range on the counterattack. He's closer to the table. He's really controlling the rally.
As a lefty, if he can make his attacks that much closer, it's going to open up the wide angles. We've seen Michael have some difficulty where his first shot off the table is more of a soft block. And if Pierre-Luc is up on the table when that ball comes over, he's going to be able to do with that at will. And he has a great re-loop off the bounce. He really takes it early and gets some nice angles.
He's hitting the ball so much cleaner than the first match of the tournament where I saw these two play.
And there's that punch down the line. Michael's got to make sure if he sees that ball coming that his ball lands as deep as possible. What a block on the forehand there. That's something you just don't see regularly.
I think Michael's a little bit in shell shock here. He doesn't understand how these shots are landing.
Well, now he's just overhitting. That is not a good sign. That is not a good sign.
I think that's the frustration of Theriault making just some amazing shots.
In addition to maybe some of the net edge balls and the...
Absolutely. And as a player, you can't let that get to you. We saw Pierre-Luc during his qualification. He was able to block out those distractions. He was able to weather these little storms that come your way inevitably during a match. And in the end, with solid play, he was able to qualify.
There's a little shot making, but still you don't want to be in that position where you've popped up a ball and you need to counterattack a smash to stay in the rally. Michael got back into that point, although Pierre did get another net ball. Would have been easy to give up halfway through there, but there's still so much table tennis to play in this match.
There's just a strange error from Michael. That ball was coming deep, and he treated it like a short ball.
He's got to refocus. I wish he still had that extra timeout, because now would be, even at 3-8, I think he could probably get back in this game. At least he could get back into the mindset, because right now it looks like he's just sending balls over the net as hard as he can.
In some situations like this, Theriault, being in this position, needs to be a little bit careful. Michael Landers obviously not really taking this game seriously, but I don't think he will have given up on the entire match. This is really his last chance. If he loses, he's out, and Theriault would be foolish to think that he's going to continue playing this way as the next game starts.
Right. Upsetter players in this position when it seems like they have nothing to gain can be the most dangerous, because all of a sudden they play a much more relaxed style going for shots. In that situation, you just have to make sure you keep constant pressure on them. You can't let them breathe. You have to keep your attacks going, because if you step back and take a breather and thinking that they might miss, or you don't take the attack away from them, that's when they can get the confidence and build their game back into the match.
Surprisingly, with the player who fights as hard as Michael Landers, I remember more occasions where he's been in this situation up 3-0 than down 3-0 and having the opponent fight back against him.
I think it's a natural tendency when you're such a shot maker to think you can go a little bit safer. And it's those shot making points that really scare the opponent. That's a very nice forehand loop. Coming back from down 3-0 is not impossible. But he's just got to be thinking, as Coach Max was saying to Lily, 1 point at a time. No reason to try to earn a game at a time. Just get to 3-1, then take it from there.
I think what's interesting is when you mention shot making, there are really different types of shot making. Michael Landers tends to go for 100% power on a lot of shots, but there have been some amazing shot makers like Samsonov and Osang-Yoon over the years where they're in control of their shot making and they're able to control the point from close to the table, but they're still able to use that shot making to their advantage.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the experience, the level of competition, and more times than not, it's their footwork. Because when you're constantly in position, a stronger shot is not necessarily a riskier shot. With Michael, a lot of times when he goes for his shots, if a player were to get it back, he's going to be really out of position because he's really gone 100% on the follow-through.
Of course, he's not out of yet. There's a very smart forehand opening to a good location there. Now up 5-4. Though down 0-3 in games.
Right shot by Michael. He needs to loop that ball. There's no way he could push that ball short. Look like he's lifting it a little bit more than he needs to, or maybe put a little extra spin on it to help bring it down.
It'd be very difficult to read that serve from Theriault. He's got one of the best serves in North America. Just a puzzling decision there for Michael Landers.
Just backing away from a ball that's dropping at an insane speed and now going for the counterattack. Right now, this is a make or break point. Going down 8-5 would be devastating at this point.
And for someone like Michael, who's such a confidence player, he can fall apart mentally at points like this in the match sometimes.
Very big point. If there's some way he's able to come back and win this match, that is going to be the starting point. And Pierre-Luc takes a timeout, realizing let's not let it get to 7-all, to where Michael can regain the lead in this particular game.
I like this timeout actually for Theriault because as a player from 3-0 up, it can be very difficult to lose a game and go into the 5th game thinking that you had a chance to close the game, to close the match out 4-0, and then to have to work for another game and to start fresh. It can be very difficult to get into that mindset.
You know, one thing as a coach, if I was in Pierre-Luc's corner, I would definitely remind him, don't think about the score at this point. Play smart tactics. Almost run through the finish line versus thinking that he's 4 points away. Because once you do that, you start getting out of the present moment, and all of a sudden, when you're playing shots, you're looking at to see how the point's going versus knowing you've got the technique, you've got the tactics. Just relax, let the point flow and go into it. So easy to think about the end result when you have a lead at the end of a game. Great hustle, great fight by Landers. Pierre-Luc definitely had a slight upper hand there, but Michael controlling the angles a little bit better from the backcourt. Now he's got the serve at 7-all. What a huge block off of a seemingly pop-up. Very strong backhand play by Pierre-Luc.
A little bit uncharacteristic. He usually doesn't like to open from that side, but
and down the line, which not much table to deal with in that direction. Very well played. Almost remind me of a tennis serve and volley player that got the upper hand in the speed department, just waited and kept the ball in play until the other player ran himself out of position. That was an amazing
retrieval.
That was an amazing loop that Pierre-Luc pulled off of a heavy side spin forehand chop, giving him now 2 match points to advance to the semifinals, along with Timothy Wong. And there it is. Pierre-Luc Theriault will advance. Michael Landers, unfortunately, will not be going into the semifinals.